Well, it was a hot summer. It was pretty much near the end of the summer. And my wife had to go away with friends, but I had to work. So I had a couple days by myself. And, you know, I got up in the morning, and there on the coffee table in the kitchen, there was a note. And it said, "Dear, there's food in the fridge, and if you could do a couple chores, that'd be nice. I love you." Oh, she loves me. You know, that's so great to hear. Wait, there's a P.S. on the bottom. It says, promise me you'll be careful. And I'm like, I'm a careful kind of guy. That's going to be easy to do. You know, once in a while when I'm alone, I maybe carry too much and hurt my back, and I've hit my hand a couple hundred times. And I'll talk about emergency rooms because that's a different story. So I got the dog. I had a little extra time in the morning, and I went out to the woods in our town. There's a pond, and I went out with the dog, and when I was out there, I remembered that I had put up a honeybee swarm trap, and I'd forgotten about it. Right, so I'm like, yeah, where was that honeybee swarm trap? I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper into the woods. Finally, I found it. A honeybee swarm trap is like a white plastic box about this big, and you put 5 frames in it. It's got a little vent on the back, a honeybee hole for the bees to come in and out in the front. And you put a queen bee pheromone in, and what you hope is in the spring, when the beehives are growing so fast that they split, and half of the hive and a queen will go off, find some place to roost, and then they send out scout bees looking for a really good home. And what you hope with the trap, you pull it up on a thin line, and you keep it up on the tree facing east, that they'll sit there for a while, and then you can capture this whole bunch of bees and bring it home and have your own hive. Well, I was there staring up at this white box in the tree, and something flew into it. I couldn't quite tell what it was because it was kind of high. But I was excited. Something flew into the honey trap box. And so I had to ponder that. But I had to go to work, so I brought the dog home, went to work. After work, it was about midnight. I get home, and I'm wired from work, and I'm thinking about stuff, and I'm bored. I'm by myself. And I'm thinking, you know, it's late in the season. They don't split hives this time of year. So I should probably just get the honey, the swarm trap box down before I forget again where it is. The other thing is I read somewhere online, because I'm an expert online, that you're best to get those traps down at night because the bees that are foraging would be back in if there were any bees. And the other good thing about the best time to find and take those traps down is when your wife is away because she worries too much. So I packed all sorts of the beekeeper stuff in a backpack, and I drove out to the park and hiked the half-mile in, and being a careful and promising guy, I texted my wife my location, GPS location, knowing, of course, that it wouldn't worry her because she was asleep. And then I put on the bee jacket, put on a bee hat with the netting, zipped it all together. I had 2 big gloves that go up to your elbow, and the thick leather gloves. I put the other one on, and then I'm holding the rope to the little line to the trap, and I'm trying to get the rope off. It's been in the rain all summer long, and I just can't get it undone. So I shake the glove off, and I'm picking at it, and I'm like, what is that? It's not coming from up high. It can't be the bees. My brain goes into some sort of neural Google search. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Could it be an animal? Snakes? Raccoon? No. Electrical. Phone? No, it doesn't sound like a phone. Could it be mechanical? All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the rope soar out of my hand. It was running through the glove the whole time. And then I look up and step back just in time. It missed me, hit the ground, rolled on its side, and all these bees come out. Angry bees are coming out on the ground. And I'm frozen. But I'm a careful sort of guy. I had brought mosquito netting. I ripped it out of the backpack, threw it over the whole thing, grabbed it in the glove and the bees and extra leaves, picked it up. It was like 30 or 40 pounds. It wasn't just bees. It was honey and pollen and nectar. And so now I'm like, this is a whole hive. So I'm running through the trees, and I can't see because the light on my headlamp on this. and I'm hitting trees and tripping over branches, and I'm trying to get back, and I'm breaking branches. I finally get back to the parking lot. I open up the door, throw the whole thing in, close the door. I'm going to do my happy dance. And then I heard something else. It's like an airplane. I look through the windows of the car, and there's thousands of bees circling inside the car. I'm not kidding you. It was like unbelievable. So what do you do? Well, the bee suit's supposed to be proof from bees, right? So I pull the other glove on, and I get in. And now I'm driving home. And it's deafening in the car. And now the bees are landing on the face of my mask, and I'm trying to scratch them off. So I can see I'm driving slower and slower and slower. And now I'm really worried that a police officer is going to come by, and he's going to be like, sir, why are you driving so slow? And I'm like, I can't hear you. And he says, sir, open your window. No, I don't want to open my window. It's going through my head. And he's like, sir, get out of the car. And I'm like, no, you don't want me to get out of the car. So finally I get home, and I just have to go for it. So I just drive right through the rose bushes, sorry dear, and across the front yard, through the little bit of the vegetable garden, down into the woods, park the car, and roll out into the woods. I had caught a wild group of feral bees. I was happy. I got a smoker out, smoked and put spray in with sugar. My car's a mess, but they all calmed down. I was able to get them out and into a hive. I went back upstairs. I had a great night. I had remembered, so I texted my wife these 4 lines. I said, hi dear, everything's okay now, mostly. And to this day, I don't know why. When sometimes her brow furrows and she looks kind of pensive when I say, dear, I promise I'll be careful.